What I wanted to talk about today was the water fluoridation in Sacramento and around California. I wanted to know why this is not being addressed by anybody, why it's not being put out in the news, the media is not covering it. The question I want to ask is, how come none of this is being addressed, and isn't that a threat to everybody's safety? Water fluoridation is known to cause all sorts of diseases, to dumb people down. I want to know why none of this is being talked about. The CDC and vaccine industry have kept all of this from the public and the media when the media knows what's going on. And I know that the mayor knows about this too. And I want to know why it's not being addressed more. And one thing that I wanted to say about fluoride is there are many cities around the country that are taking this out of their city water supply. I wanted to know if Sacramento County and other counties around, what they're doing about this, what they're doing to stop it. I have many news sources that are not coming off of Fox News or CNN or any of those news websites, and I can give you news sources if you'd like to hear them.
I want to talk about Sacramento City Code 8.60.010 hazardous materials. Section A, the release of any hazardous substance or waste is declared to be a public nuisance. Section G, any hazardous substance or waste includes any hazardous substance or hazardous waste as defined in Section 8.64-020 of the City Code. Sacramento City Code 8.64.020. Hazardous substance means any substance or product for which the manufacturer or producer is required to prepare a MSDS or material safety data sheet for the substance. I have a purchase order for fluorosilicic acid that the city uses to add to the drinking water for water fluoridation. The purchase order is from Solvay Fluorides. And so I went to Solvay Fluorides and I obtained a material safety data sheet for fluorosilicic acid. So right there, just following the city code, you can't put fluorosilicic acid in the water. And going back to 8.60.010, any other hazardous substance, waste, or materials as defined in any state or federal law is also included in that part of the city code. And if you go to Chapter 11, Appendix 10 of in the state code, fluorosilicic acid is also listed there as a hazardous waste.
Just want to let our speaker know on the fluoride issue that this council debated that issue on several occasions, including just, I think, 2 years ago, most recently, and several times before that, and at which time we had this room full of people testifying on the topic. So we have discussed it and made a decision, and we're moving on. Thank you.
All right. Our next.
Things in the budget we could cut out before you start spending on new projects. And for the utilities department, the main thing that you could cut out is water fluoridation. Like, for example, this project, it's over $5 million. Just on purchasing the chemicals for water fluoridation is over $1 million. And that money is being, the fluoride is being purchased from Solvay Fluorides, which isn't even an American company. So that that's $1 million of tax dollars that's being taken out of Sacramento, out of the state, out of the country. And it's ridiculous. And there was even the Department of Utilities even did a study in 2010 that showed that 99.9% of the fluoride in the water doesn't even go to the target, which is your teeth. So even if you do think that fluoridation is good, and it's a good idea, putting fluoride in the water is a stupid idea. When you go to the dentist for fluoride treatment, I mean, I did this, my family's done this, they don't tell you, here's a glass of fluoride water, drink it, because it doesn't make any sense. Most of the fluoride goes in the rest of your skeleton, it goes to your vital organs, your brain. If you go to the dentist, they give you topical fluoride treatment, because then you know 99.9% of the fluoride actually goes to your teeth where it's supposed to go, instead of just going down the drain. It's a waste of $1 million. And that's not even including how much it costs to keep all these systems updated and to maintain, checking the levels. You have to check the levels every month. You have to report the levels to the state. I mean, this is a waste of money. So you guys want to spend this money on checking for hazard spills for hazardous material in the river, right? Which I agree it's a smart thing to do, but why don't you save the money and just stop putting fluoride in the water? Okay, I got right here a paper from the Journal of Environmental and Public Health from Dr. Sarhaber. He's a chemist from the University of California, San Diego, the Department of Chemistry. I'm going to read a few excerpts from it. Industrial fluoride ingested from treated water enters saliva at levels too low to affect dental caries. Blood levels during lifelong consumption can harm heart, bone, brain, and even developing teeth enamel. Synthetic industrial fluoride compounds lack calcium and are listed toxic substances. The fluoride compounds, sodium fluoride and fluorosilicic acid, added into municipal water for human ingestion purposes, are synthesized artificially by industrial reaction and have been used as rodenticides, insecticides, and pediculicides, with acute oral lethal doses in experimental animals comparable to arsenic and lead. So fluorosilicic acid, which you guys are putting in the water, it's one of the most reactive substances you could find. It's got a pH of 1, that's as low as it can go. So of course it's listed as toxic and corrosive at the state level, at the U.S. level. It's more toxic than lead. It's less toxic than arsenic. So it's, as far as its toxicity goes, it's in between lead and arsenic. And it's ridiculous you guys are spending all this money putting this stuff in the water, and then you guys are coming out pretending like you actually care about the water safety. Because, I mean, if you really cared, you would just stop putting the fluoride in the water. Thanks.
Thank you.
I'm going to read some more from the paper from the Journal of Environmental and Public Health. Sources of ingested industrial fluoride are diverse. The fluoride that is absorbed into the bloodstream arises chiefly from public water supplies, but substantial amounts are assimilated also from foods, toothpaste, mouth rinses, and some bottled waters. Assimilation of industrial fluoride from water into the bloodstream in humans can be seemingly well tolerated for long periods because bone efficiently traps the calcium chelator from interstitial fluids to minimize exposure to soft tissues. Bone is the final resting site for 95% of all retained fluoride. So the bottom line is, like, you can't make decisions about people's, people's health. Like, you don't know me, you don't know my wife, don't know my family. I mean, I got kids, I got an infant who drinks the city water. You guys don't know anything about him. You don't know about his specific medical needs. You don't know how much fluoride he's being exposed to. And thank God I have, I have a filter that filters out the fluoride. But I mean, it costs an arm and a leg because fluoride is so hard to filter out. You can't just filter it out with a regular Brita filter. And it's, I mean, there's no way to justify the water fluoridation anymore. I mean, I know, in 1998 when you guys first passed it, there wasn't, like, I could respect the decision. But I mean, so many studies have come out since then, it's ridiculous. And this is just one example. There are tons more. I mean, just this study alone, it's got, look at the references, it's got 60 references, okay? I mean, it's been 14 years since you first passed it, so it's time to take another look at it.
Thank you.
Okay, Brian
As
Rice.
the city manager pointed out, You guys are short about $2 million for the fire department. I know where you can get the money from. You guys are spending about $2 million on water fluoridation. So put two and two together. Just shut down the water fluoridation and spend that money on the fire department because they obviously need it more. You could actually, I mean, there's no even need to justify the fire department's budget. But I mean, you can't justify the water fluoridation anymore. 4 years ago, the Department of Utilities pointed out that 99.9% of the fluoride doesn't even reach its intended target. It's an inefficient way to deliver fluoride, and it's a waste of money.
Yes, these men and their hypnotized followers call this a new order. It is not new, and it is not order.